Good morning. You know, at Kalon, we talk about strengths a lot. I'm going to give you a story today about a guy who really focused on his strengths instead of working on what everybody told him he should. And it's guy's name's Eddie Van Halen. He was a guitar player, and some say the best guitar player in the world. But he couldn't read music. He grew up not being able to read music, but he could mimic it. Now, because he couldn't read music and the fact that his family was very, very poor, he couldn't buy the nicest guitar. He couldn't buy a whole bunch of pedals. So he decided to create his own sound. Now, he said he could see the sound in his head, but no one made anything that would produce it. So what does he do? He took a pickup from one kind of guitar that he liked, and then he mixed it with a pickup from another guitar, and he took a hammer and chisel, crammed it out, and put it into a third kind of guitar. They each had their own volume. He called it the Frankenstrat, and it gave him that sound that he could see in his head using his strengths. He gets a hot plate and an old coffee can, puts paraffin wax in it, and starts dipping the pickups in the wax to eliminate that vibration. Guess what? That's an industry standard right now. Now he has the guitar sounding like it wants, now to the amplifier. He buys a Marshall amp, but he said it only sounded good when everything was turned up all the way. So he goes to a surplus store, buys some sort of transformer, and he turned the voltage down out of the wall from the electricity. Then he got the sound that he wanted, again, using his strengths. Then he wanted to find a way to fill sound. They only had a 3-piece band and a singer. He couldn't afford any of the fancy pedals, so he wanted to get more out of the guitar, and he invented something called finger tapping. Take a listen. He was actually using two hands up on the neck of the guitar, and it created sounds very full. He said it didn't have to be about speed. He wanted to fill. Again, using his strengths, he made that happen. So here's a guy who can't read music, and everyone told him, you need to read music if you want to be a musician. It's the only way. He knew his strength wasn't that. He knew his strength was finding his own way and tinkering. It's Eddie Van Halen. Oh, and I forgot the most important part. The dude who couldn't read music, because of that finger tapping, they had to invent a new way to write music because it wasn't possible, the writing that they used before.
Luke Skywalker go down trench and Darth Vader comes swing. Oh, Igor, you be quiet. All right, I do it. Ladies, if you can't appreciate fruit jokes, then you need to let that man go. Oh, man.
Gotta hold your head up.
Quote of the day today comes from Mr. Rogers, my hero. I hope you're proud of yourself for all the times that you said yes, when all it meant for you was extra work and helpful to only somebody else. Duck hunting's been a big part of my life. I started with my dad. We weren't very good at it. I started learning a little bit more from a good friend of mine, and I got better. And then I started hunting with my kids, and we spent all that time together, and I started to learn and get more ducks. Now, my son, Dylan, is like the best hunter I've ever known, but he worked at it. I found this in my shop in his jacket pocket, and he used this to learn how to use a duck call better. And my favorite part is it comes with its built-in redneck. Listen.
Comeback call. Comeback call. Hail call. Mating call.
Ooh. All right, we'll just let that quack a little bit. The point is, he needed to learn what duck sounded like, so he got that, and he's gotten videos, and he has duck calls, and he looks like Robo-Duck Hunter, but he had to learn how to do that, and he had to put the time into it, and he's put in an incredible amount of time, and he's gotten a lot better. So he's a better duck hunter than me. Not because he's more talented. Well, I guess he is more talented now, but not because of the innate ability inside of him. Heck, I taught him everything he knows to a point, and then he studied, worked, and got better. That's kind of like what school is. There are things you're going to need to do in life, and you're going to have to put the time into it. You're going to have to actually learn. A lot of these things they're teaching you at school, you may not think they're important, but spend the time and know them. Just put in a little time. Someday you too could be whatever you want to be, as good as my son Dylan.
Have you seen the new pirate movie? It's rated R.
Our final thoughts today are about strengths. You have them. We're going to help you find what they are. But never forget, having a strength isn't enough. You have to put in the work. Both Dylan and Eddie Van Halen put in a lot of work using their strengths to get really far in life. All right, guys, till next time, you're good enough.